Welcome to Whiskey Obsession's review of Hudson Manhattan Rye. Hudson Manhattan Rye is the first rye to be distilled in New York since Prohibition. Each bottle is individually numbered. Hudson Manhattan Rye is considered to be an honest rye, meaning it has not been blended.
Hi everyone, Justin Dillon from WhiskeyObsession.com, and today we're going to be reviewing Hudson Manhattan Rye Whiskey from Tuttleton Spirits, New York. Now, Hudson Manhattan Rye marks a historic event. It is the rebirth of craft distilling and pot distilling rye whiskey to New York. Now, why is this significant? For almost 80 years, this spirit was not legally produced in the state of New York. Prior to Prohibition, however, though, New York was predominantly known for its rye whiskey. As a matter of fact, the Manhattan cocktail was actually originally crafted using rye whiskey. It's the principal ingredient. So, there are a few other historic significance to this. One, Tuttleton Spirits actually pot distills this at the Tuttleton Grist Mill, which is a National Historic Site. Each bottle itself is hand-filled, hand-corked, and then waxed. Now, you can't see this very well in the video, and I'm going to try just a little bit to get it there. You might be able to, but if not, reference the photographs that I've included prior to the video, and you'll see that each bottle is individually numbered. It includes the year, the batch number, and the bottle number. For instance, this is a 2011, batch number 19, and it's bottle number 2,850. Now, these are rolling numbers. So this is the 19th batch ever produced, and this is the 2,850th bottle produced. Again, a significant amount of wax. You can tell that this is handcrafted and put together nicely. So the presentation is excellent in the bottle. Now, it is only a 375, and that's the only way it's available. Also, this particular whiskey retails for about $60 for this little bottle. So it's not something for the faint of heart. It's definitely something a rye connoisseur, any whiskey connoisseur is going to want to consider. I'm going to go ahead and cut this open, and a lot of wax. Lots and lots of wax. Very difficult to get into, actually. So, and that's going to really help preserve and keep the air out of it, because it is corked. It's not. Okay, it looks like we got the wax off now, and there it is. So let's go ahead and pour some here. Now, I'm going into this a little biased because I'm not really a rye whiskey drinker. My great-grandfather was, may he rest in peace. But let's go ahead and take a look at just this rich color. Now, so one of the reasons I'm not fond of ryes particularly is they tend to be very sharp, a little harsh, and very potent. So I'm looking for a different experience from this rye, given the fact that it's what's called an honest rye. And what that means is it's not blended. It's a small batch, and it's individually bottled, so it should have a very smooth and consistent tasting and nosing. So let's take a look at this. We got the glass pretty well coated. Whoop. Spilled a little. We'll call that an offering. So, now this is 92 proof, 46% alcohol per volume. Now, I'm surprised. It's not as heavy on the nose as I was expecting. I was expecting a real severe nasal burn, which you will get with a lot of lower quality ryes. But again, this is an honest rye. This isn't blended. It's very floral. There's some fruitiness to it. The grain is the rye grain is present. You can tell. And the wood. Now, this is distilled from whole grain rye, so I'm looking for just a different experience. And so far I'm finding it. The nose is amazing. I could sit and smell this all day. It's got a spice to it, a little bit of a burn, but the fruit is present. And that floral is what's giving it that spiciness, that burn to it. It's very velvety though, and very smooth. I was very surprised just now when I swallowed the warmth of it and the texture as it went down. But we'll get more into the finish in a minute. And just look at that caramel coloring, and it's just beautiful. It's actually a beautifully crafted whiskey. Very little nasal burn. And you would expect a heavier, a little bit more burn from a higher proof whiskey like this. Now, you'll notice I'm not diluting it with water, and that's because I really don't want to change the experience of this. It's got such a warm scent to it. It's a wonderful experience. Such an exceptional drink. Excellent. It's no wonder it's won all the awards it's won. And on the mouth, again, just that velvety texture, a little bit of bite and spice and the floral accents, and it's smooth and fruity, but it's not sweet. If you're looking for something sweet, this really isn't as sweet as some other whiskeys out there, but it's just an incredible experience. Not what I was expecting at all. Not what I was expecting. I went into this, like I said, a little biased, slightly even tainted on rye whiskey, and it's really creating a new dimension for me in my tastings. So. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Again, it's an honest rye. It's not blended, so it's small batch. It's individually bottled, so you're getting just a unique experience, something that you don't normally find in a rye whiskey. But this is, again, it's a very premium whiskey. It's an excellent craftsmanship in it. I'm really enjoying the taste, the experience of it. I can definitely see myself drinking some more of it. Maybe not as an everyday drink. Again, it is on the higher end of the price spectrum, but it's absolutely worth every penny. And if you're a rye fan, I highly recommend picking up a bottle. Comb your local spirit shops if you have to. Now let's take this last little bit, and we're going to go for a finish on this, and we're going to see how that is. Already I can tell you I'm expecting something warm and very smooth. And that's just what I got. I got a nice warmth, a smooth finish. It lingers nicely. It reminds you that you're drinking something very special. So it was a real treat to enjoy this today with you and to share it with you. Again, if you're a rye drinker, I highly recommend picking it up. If you have an experienced palate, again, I recommend picking it up. If it's going to be your first, I would try starting with something a little bit more a little bit more simplistic, rather than jumping into a premium like this. But by all means, it's a phenomenal experience. So, once again, this has been Justin Dillon from WhiskeyObsession.com, reviewing Hudson Manhattan Rye Whiskey from Tuttleton Spirits in New York. And I want to thank you all for watching the video, and ask you to like the video and leave your comments. And we'll see you again soon.